important in this entire think tank discussion, which is to enable an environment or an ecosystem where assistive technology is not a privilege, it's a norm. And assistive technology, I use a 80 myself, I use a wheelchair, and if you take this wheelchair away, my voice will just change immediately, and this the person I am will be gone. It has got that power. It's not only a wheelchair, it could be a white cane, it could be a crutches, it could be a software, it could be anything that spectacle which I'm wearing one, and there's so many other things which is not recognized, not in the list, but indigenous home solution kind of stuff. But it plays a role which changes your life till you don't discover it. And this panel is particularly to discuss what are the needs and challenges, what is that we need to do in terms of creating awareness and the need for driving AT is not as a choice, not as a luxury, but as a choice which you can pick. And I personally think, at NCPEDP, we have been running this emphasis, NCPEDP Universal Design Award from last 16 years, and recognizing initiatives and people and organizations who are promoting universal design technologies, because it plays a major role when you in your intersectionality, whether it is education, whether it is employment, whether it is your social life, or your independent living, whether you also stay in your own house, in your own vicinity. Without an AT, it's that much more difficult, and it limits your potential to be the part of the larger society. And all of you, as you can see, we have a very eminent panel here. We have the Joint Secretary of DEPWD, who leads Accessible India campaign and ADIP and so on. We have Mr. Praveen Kumar, CMD Elimco, I think one of the biggest corporation which distributes aids and appliances in India. I think a 700 crore corporation. And Mr. Chawla, I think such a privilege to have it here, who's 91 Springboard co-founder, who doesn't know the name, has been a great investor and a supporter in the ecosystem. Ravinder Singh Ji, senior scientist with ICMR, and my friend Sumit Chauhan, who leads the CSR at Emphasis. So all that you need to bring the solution together, the people who can do this together are on the dais, and today I think is an opportunity for us to kind of create that discourse which can be taken forward by people with disability. I mean, Purple Fest has that kind of ability which creates trend. People come here every year. It's been the third year that I am here, and also I should also acknowledge the government of Goa, Office of the Commissioner for Persons with Disability Goa, for taking this initiative year on year, and DPWD for their constant support. Ma'am, I'll start with you. You have a hard stop as well. So, how do you see DPWD see the progress? Like just if I talk in terms of awareness, in terms of budgeting, looking at the growth Elimco has had it in last 5 years in terms of just sheer numbers of, in terms of financial numbers, and also the kind of demand that has come to Elimco, to you and the EDIP scheme, and awareness of it. If you could just throw some light on this.
Thank you, Arman. Yes, as before we get into the real question, assistive technology is not about just providing modern equipment, aids, but it is also about, like you mentioned, dignity, empowerment. It is about feeling included. And I think that is the core of what DPWD and the ADIP scheme is. We have, with Elimco's help, right from 1981, been providing aids and appliances to people with disabilities across the country. And we are basically looking out to people who aren't heard or seen by, because of the sheer fact that their household is too difficult to reach out to, or they don't have the means to access modern aids and technology. And I think with that, we realize that assistive technology and the aids and appliances that we, through the department and through the ADIP scheme, have had an impact in the lives of many people. There is a World Bank, a World Health Organization study which says that only about 1% of the population requiring assistive technology basically exists in the low income or the middle income countries, and such as ours. And even by spending $1 on assistive technology, we can by almost $9 to $10 improve their economic give back to that economy of that country. So I think that important role of assistive technology and the aid and appliances that comes into the life of an individual with disability plays. And I think using assistive technology not just through aids and appliances, but as a means to reach out to a larger population, create awareness, give them a voice to tell us what they think about what needs more to be done, is what this area is all about.
Right, thank you so much, ma'am. I'll come to Dr. Ravinder Singh ji. I think you being, ma'am, talk about the need and how critical this area is. So what is the importance of research, trying to, in trying to understand AT and adopting which AT, and then we'll talk about LLIP also, since ICMR has worked on it. I think if you could throw some light, what is the role of research and ICMR is playing in identification of such AT and adopting it?
Good afternoon, and thank you, Arman and NCP, EDP and Goa government for organizing such a beautiful event here. It's very privilege and honor to be among the dignitaries here on the dais and off the dais. Let me give you an idea of what the research can do. Earlier there has been efforts through NSSO, through sensors and through other means to collect the data on disability. And Washington group had actually 6 questions which they did lot of research and found out that if we can ask these 6 questions and we can get a lot of information. Based on that, WHO made a tool called RATA, that Rapid Assistive Technology Assessment Survey tool. And that tool has been used by more than around 50 countries now. And in India, ICMR took that lead, and we are now almost 160,000 data collected till to date. It is a digital version, and we are analyzing it on a real-time basis. And our target is to 180,000, and that by the end of that survey would be able to give the exact figure, and we can extrapolate, because it has been designed in a way that we are covering all the 6 regions of India and 25 centers. That means almost 25 states. So it would be one of the best data, because we have been involving WHO also is overseeing it. They are going to the field. So the data is a very important part of provisioning of any services, that which part of country would require what kind of services, what kind of product. Similarly, another research which we did was to dig out the data of what are the assistive technology available in the world. So we did lot of research on European Union, American, then WHO APL list, and then lot of commercial and data from the manufacturers. So I think Limco had made a list of manufacturers, and then Mobility India. So we dug out all of the data, and we created a list of around 383 products. And every product, what functionality or disability targets, whether it is available, what are the standards available. So all those kind of research was compiled in form of document, which I think Asifa was talking about, national list of essential assistive product. So that was actually done based on the WHO APL list, and now there are 9 countries which have developed that kind of list. And it's a basic need. We did not, we were thinking that we not go into the advanced kind of technology, because the government will start with only the products which are affordable, which are available, which can be easily given to the people who need most, and impact is also huge. So that is another thing. And then also on the standards, we did lot of work with the Bureau of Indian Standard to create the standards. We also created the training programs for various kind of service providers. So research has a very important role to, to come out with what is required, how it will be given, what would be the, and also for the manufacturing sector to what kind of product they should start manufacturing, what are the needs. So all these things are has been done, and already they are in public domain. And if somebody would like to have look at all of them, we are available for any of the audiences or anybody who want to.
I have the list right in my hand right now. So I see there's a list of 21
group of products. It's a group of products.
Group of products.
Yeah,
yes.
We kept it very.
It's very
broad.
interesting, and that and you are kind of creating your own requirements based on the country's experience and thing. Is it that are you not following blindly the WHO's list of assistive?
No, we were not. We did not follow WHO. Only thing is, the first 383 product list was in where the product from WHO was included, product from European Union were included. But then when we thought of that Indian version of that product, we did 12 sectors we involved, different stakeholders, and multiple layer of consultation with users, with the manufacturers, with the different sort of other people also. So every time it used to reduce. That okay, now you want to come out with 100 products, and then 50, then 20. So after 20, then again another consultation was done, and 21st product was added. And now when I look back our process, I found that 21st product was very important, and that is hidden one. People don't want to discuss about it. This is incontinence products.
Right. I think very interesting points. I think both ma'am and you. I will then go to Mr. Praveen Kumar. I think you have a lot of thoughts on both the points that's come, because you are the man on the ground, I would say, and someone who creates a Guinness Book of World Record in distribution of aids and appliances, if I am not wrong.
Yeah, nine.
Yes. But also, I will be also a little critical. I think you must be used to being critiqued all the time. Yeah. So I'll be a little critical as well. I also with one of your colleagues, we were there with Empower and we're talking about assistive device. And when you see a corporation like Elimco doing so well year on year, it gives you hope. कि सब कुछ ठीक है, okay. And then I looked at again census of 2011. I said, okay, 2 crore log. Then I said, what is the number of beneficiaries that Elimco has? So the answer was around 3 to 4 lakh honge, or something like that. And correct me if I'm wrong, because it was very on the stage discussion. Then I said, if not even 10%. And there's so much that is need to be done. And I am saying this in particularly because Sumit and Varun is here. I hope both of you are listening. If you look at a data on census of 2011, and then you look at the Elimco's data of the number of beneficiaries, it's not they only make a wheelchair or a crutch. It's like various devices are there. And they have in very good collaborations with various manufacturers. And they're not distribution, by the way. Those who don't know, they also manufacture and distribute to the last mile across the country. And I think Mr. Praveen Kumar is one of the busiest men in the sector, if not otherwise. Very difficult to find his time, and glad that you're making it here, sir. Right. So I just throw some light on this,
Yeah.
the beneficiaries and what's the views on a list
Yeah.
in terms of, and this is not about just mobility. You
Yeah,
understand?
yeah.
Yes, please.
Thanks, Arman. Let me start from awareness. See, this awareness is an integral part of Alimco. Because whenever we start doing the assessment, it starts from awareness. Because awareness is the key. Without awareness, nobody will come for assessment. And this we are doing in collaboration with the state government, district administration, NGOs, and whosoever we can collaborate with to bring the people, to create awareness. Apart from this newspaper and other means of publicity, that's separate. But the whole idea is awareness will generate need. That's the second point. And there we comes in picture. People coming, we assess, then it is distributed. Now, if you look at the data of last 11 years, almost 3.4 million people we have touched. 3.4, 34 lakh. मैंने कहा बहुत बड़ा number है, considering the kind of gap we have in the 2011 census की भी अगर हम बात करें 2.68 crores, and this 34 lakhs is nothing. So there is lot much to be done. One of the biggest challenge in this sector, and particularly when we talk of bridging the gap, is the fund availability in this sector. Because there are many startups who are interested, but they say कि यार हम बेचेंगे कहाँ? Where we will go? Who is going to take? Because most of our beneficiary, they are out of their pocket. They have to get the items free of cost. Either the central government, state government, or the CSR funds. CSR can play a very bigger role. When Arman was talking about our turnover 745, so 100 crore is the CSR, because central government has a limitation of serving the entire country and disability. We need a lot of fund there. State governments, they are doing it in bits and pieces. Not all state governments are on the same platform. Some are very active, some are proactive, some are hyperactive, and some are actually dormant. They are not doing at all. So that has to be a congruence all along the country. If really people are interested in bridging the gap, everybody has to pull out with combined effort. Otherwise, this will only be discussed and nothing is going to happen.
Slightly, I will just disrupt your thoughts also.
Yeah.
Whatever investment you're saying it's less, it's not even tip of the iceberg,
Yeah.
if I can say so. But that also is kind of, I think people negate it, they disapprove because you don't have a choice sometimes. Like if I want to take an example of a wheelchair, it's one size fit all. It doesn't get customized at at Limco. And then there are startups who are coming out, who are also manufacturing in India for that. This is very good, I think, who are kind of customizing any product that they make according to the need of the person with disability or any person that needs. And at NCPDP AT Hub, which is supported by Emphasis, and we have partnership with ICMR, and we constantly supporting about 25 startups that were doing various innovations to bring out with solutions and assistive technologies. We also trying to look at solutions. There's some people who have the buying power. I'm just changing the discourse a little bit in the sense. Today, if you want to buy a mobile phone, you want to buy a shirt from Amazon, there is an EMI option available. But when you want to buy an affordability की बात कर रहा हूँ मैं, मतलब आप free of cost is something, is a mentality that in people like me who are disabled think कि सब जगह free है, entry free है. If you are giving a choice, do you think Limco or the startup ecosystem will give people with disability the choice of buying something which is according to them? If I am wearing a shirt which is not of my size, it will make me very uncomfortable. My functionality, and think about something like it. Why do we use a white cane and not a danda just and go anywhere? There are issues of its uses and functionality, and there are different kinds. So just coming to that, so many people with disability being reached out. where is the agency of people with disability in that? And if there is no agency of people with disability in deciding what do they want, because there is a question of affordability. And then there is people like Sumit, there is Varun, who is also doing so much. I'm not sure how much Varun is into disability as of now, but emphasis yes. So from you, like you have decades of experience in doing this. Also Dr. Singh here, doing research and coming out with all this. What is the way forward? What is that we need to do? Where do you think is the pain point?
Very rightly pointed out. See, when we look at the evolution of Alimco since almost more than 50 years old company, there has been a very transitional shift from the way we used to work 5 years earlier or 10 years and the way we are working now and the way we will be working 5 years beyond or more. Earlier it used to happen in a camp mode, there has to be a different philosophy, the whole logic was different, distribution conducting in one day. Now things are changing. As you might be aware, through PMDKs, Pradhan Mantri Divyasha Kendra, we have enhanced our outreach throughout India, and it's like a center approach. People coming in, they are getting assessed properly. Now going forward, earlier what we used to see here, whatever product we have to make, it has to be in the limit of the ADP or something. But now as Alimco, we are open and we invite any startup. We don't mind if your product is 1 lakh rupees, 1 lakh 50,000, but if it serves the purpose of the disabled person, we welcome. Next, how he is going to pay? If he can pay, no problem. If he cannot pay, then we'll bring in the CSR and other funds so that we give the right and appropriate state-of-the-art product to the person. It's like going towards the choice thing. Earlier it was like, ये दे दिया wheelchair, आप समझो दे दिया मतलब
मैंने उस दिन देखा you're coming out with sports wheelchair.
That's why I'm saying.
तो मैंने कोलिग को कहा कि मुझे भी लेना है एक ये, तो उन्होंने कहा ठीक है आप जब लीजिएगा आपका वीडियो बना लेंगे. तो मैंने ठीक है लेना है जरूरी.
नहीं ठीक. But it takes time for the entire thing, mindset and everything to change. As an organization, we are evolving still. But I am hopeful the way we are thinking and with the kind support of ministry and the Agrawal sir ka jo vision hai, I think you will see more tangible changes in the years to come. Yeah.
That brings me to Sumit. बगल में बैठे हैं सुन रहे हैं and they're quite invested in disability as emphasis and they have been with us for at least 15 years. Started the association with Universal Design Award. So this concept of doing accessibility in universal design and assistive technology. Today we are setting up an assistive technology hub. We are giving seed money to startups, about 25 of them that NCPDP supports through them. The philosophy there, and now that he has heard the third session, I think now, since morning the first one on health and then the census and the shared numbers, and now something as critical as assistive technology, which you need a AT or a assistive device to just get out of your bed, and then forget about going to school and the other thing. So I would not. These are all out of syllabus questions. Sorry, you all must have received pointers, but I don't follow. One of my disabilities is that I can't read and ask questions, and it becomes very schoolish. So I took the liberty of going out of syllabus and making it as genuine as possible. So Sumit, I'm sorry, but
yeah. No, I think I'll pick from where Praveen said that this whole area is a long-term investment, and at Emphasis also we've been invested almost for 2 decades with NCPDP, and a funder is as good as the partner is, and most of you would agree, right? And I think to the returns on investment that we've got and what has got us till today, it's humongous, and yet it's still the tip of the iceberg, and that stays with me because for us, whether universal design, whether AT Hub, these are still starting points for a lot of work that is miles to go. What I feel, awareness is such a key element to it, which is why we do an annual awards on universal design and accessibility with NCPDP. The idea is, for you could be, starting with a camp. We thought, let's put a stage together, let's, put a platform together and maybe use mass media to kind of proliferate the idea and get that awareness out there. In my knowledge, I've come across a lot of service providers don't know the kind of solution that they need to give it to a person with disability. At Emphasis, we are very clear. We have only 2 thematic areas that we support the work in. One is environmental sustainability, not appropriate for this forum. The other one, we are a tech company. We say we want to support work which is tech-enabled social mobility. So anything where technology plays a crucial role in improving the overall quality of an individual, whether a regular person or person with disability, that spectrum we really value and we want to stay invested in for the long run. And for us, assistive technology, I was the hub that Arman spoke about. I was speaking to one of the grantees, and he said something very unique, and that should challenge you. He's saying that yes, there is Almco there, but we want the first 80 unicorn to come from India, and that was very bold, as a startup. And I think we need, many more Almcos out there.
We take the challenge and we want 100 Almcos in India. That should be then only we will be doing something for the country.
Absolutely, and this actually calls for a clap because it comes from Almco. It comes from people who are, wanting to put their, their money, where their heart is, and with that 80 hub, that what we are trying to do is making it more accessible, allowing. Yesterday I was speaking at a forum where I was giving my views on what is developmental work and how CSR fund should always fund for a solution innovation, because CSR should technically developmental work should fail, and it's a very controversial statement because unless you don't fail, you don't realize what is working, what's not working. But that's developmental work, and for me, working in this space of inclusion of people with disability, it's more than developmental, it's fundamental. And here the issue is scale. Here the issue is not innovation. Here the issue is not finding solution, because there's still enough research done, sir. The list tells you that there is 21. The NP is already putting out there. The ministry is doing enough out there. I think the challenge remains is the scale here. And so I don't see this as a developmental issue. It's a very fundamental issue. And I think as a company, we stay true to that vision to say that fundamentally we need to make it absolutely equal and as accessible and as affordable as possible through the work that we are doing.
Thank you so much, Sumit. I hope you know that we are recording all this. Yeah. Great, thank you so much. I think this gives a shot in the arm, actually. Varun, no questions to you, just your first initial reaction. I mean, we struggle to get investors in the room when we talk of funding startups on assistive technology.
Sure.
We struggle, I think, and बहुत धक्का देके my chair, Mr. Pradeep Gupta, he puts his personal, goodwill on the table to get people in the room, and then to put the sense to what that we are doing, and it requires investment and support. Look at disability from a more of a business point of view than just a charity. CSR cannot change lives of disabled people, I'll be very honest with it. It can make a lot of noise, it can create awareness, and then we need to make it a business. If you have to make it a business for everybody, to make it profitable, to make it sustainable. So,
yeah.
And so from you.
So first I'll just set context. I did indeed start 91 Springboard, and that's been a good success. But the last 5 years been working on something called Build 3. It's basically an ecosystem, a platform for entrepreneurs to build startups with purpose and profit. What do we provide? Capability, community, so your networks, and some capital to make this happen. Now we'd set off working with entrepreneurs we know and understand, because who I represent is who I connect with. But over the last 6 months, we've had the privilege of meeting entrepreneurs like in this audience, this yellow-shirted gentleman, 5th row on the right, Mr. Madhav Negi. He joined us 3 months ago and introduced us to entrepreneurship and the outputs that could be produced for the visually impaired. Another lady joined us in our previous cohort. Her name is Shomita, and she's from Calcutta, and over the last 5 years, from being fully able to developing muscular degenerative disease, is now facing challenges and is creating solutions for herself and people like herself. So as a platform that is enabling entrepreneurs, I think the solutions have to come from people who understand the problem. And up till this point, I'll be very honest, I've been ignorant. And I'm being trained, taught, and updated by folks like Madhav Negi, by Shaumita, who are teaching me what are the needs of this audience, and we are playing the only role we know, which is teaching entrepreneur as a process, as a set of frameworks, as a journey, because we've seen that hundreds of times before. Connecting with people, because this journey doesn't work as a solo. This is all about communities. So finding investors, mentors, vendors, co-founders, all of those, creating that ecosystem to enable that journey. And then some financial fuel, which many of us here are providing. We're also enabling that both directly and through partners. That's the journey Build 3 is going on. And we're loving working with folks who are from the community, who understand the problem, just being a little bit of wind in their sails.
Right. Thank you. I think it's fantastic that to know that you're already invested. We just need to
100%.
You're converted already. I mean to say.
100% converted.
Yeah, we need to explore. Exactly. Dr. Saab, I'll come to you again. You see there are different
My battery's gonna die. I might need this clip from them.
visions that Sumit has spoken. Praveen Savas and Madam has said. Now Varun, and you coming from a research led organization. Do you think there is a need of a course correction, that how we look at AT in India, from a policy perspective, from how AT has been looked at? We have a national education policy which talks about use of technology to promote inclusive education. But on the ground, you see there are no implementation of NEP per se, and then forget about the disability part of NEP. I mean, just to set a context, because NCPT worked very closely on the national education policy, which got kind of amended or changed after 40 years. And right from early childhood development till higher education, NEP talks about use of technology and inclusion of people with disabilities into the education system. And use of technology means a lot, I think, right from a software to a device and so on. And then this discussion here with various challenges and things. So do you think there's a need of a course correction from a research point of view? And I will again reiterate the point, we're not at a stage where we as a disabled people has a choice of deciding what you want and if it is affordable.
So I think you have touched a very, very important and sensitive area and very close to my heart. There was a taboo on discussion on disability in health sector. Nobody wanted to talk. They said, whenever I went to Ministry of Health and they said, disability, why are you there? Why are you talking about it? It is Ministry of Social Justice, Empowerment, DEPWD area. Why are you touching it? So the course correction was, I said, listen, assistive technology is not for person with disability. It is for all of us. All of us, I'll say. Because 30% at any given point of time, more than 35% who need assistive technologies, and rather everybody, we cannot go to office and sit without a chair, which is assistive technology. And there are so many technologies which are universal in nature. Mobile phone, all of us are using. Without that, we are disabled. So course correction is that, first of all, it has to be, come out of the disability, that yes, it's not for disability, for all of us. And that message should go to the industry, to the manufacturers, that here lies the business opportunity, please come here. And now we are coming out with the white paper where we are going to show to the manufacturer, to the industry, to the government, that this industry is going to be $1 trillion industry, bigger than pharma, because of awareness which we are going to create and already created, and everybody would not only through free distribution, but everybody empowered and trying to get the better product. We have seen through through school health programs, that the spectacles were distributed to the children, but they are not using it. Why? Because it was not suiting their, requirement needs. And also the choice of color and design. Children, they need the best design, best, product. They will not use it. They have kept 2, 3, 4 spectacle at their home, which was given during this, camps, but they are not using it. So, what is the solution then? Solution is when a person who need it goes to a particular place, like now the sustainable provision of through PMDKs and through health system, and first assessed, fitted, then reviewed and followed up, and also feedback is taken from that person who is using it, that yes, he is using it, he is getting benefited, and impact of that product is there. So lot of you have touched a very sensitive area, and I can speak till evening on this topic, but I'll stop it here.
Sir, thank you so much. But I still think, there needs to have more collaborative work. We are still continue to work in silos. We are not there, and very the reality and very unfortunately is that disabled people are not aware about it. They don't know that we're talking like this. They don't know what is our vision. They don't know that there is something called NLIB. And this breaks my heart. This is very, and all of you would be with me on this. It's a distribution of a assistive device is a political event.
Which logo you say?
It is, and we have to acknowledge it's not something that I'm saying, and everybody uses it, okay, and also the CSR money going, and I'm not saying it is not important. It is important. But the how of it, I talked about choice of people with disability. That choice is a long way from where we are right now. And that's why we ask that is there a need to do a course correction? Is there a need to do a course correction? And ma'am, I'll come back to you, since ADIP is an enabler, and it's quite open, and a lot of list of devices being added. And it's very heartening to see the startups who are coming out with certain products or device is also getting onto LIMCO or to ADIP scheme. So I think this is the first step to look at it. That question, and also the affordability part, like why are we not getting the choice whether if I want to drive a Mercedes or a Maruti, I am able to get it on a finance. Why not the same when I want to use an assistive device or a technology? These two questions, ma'am. You have something like the scholarships that you give. You are giving scholarships to students who are going abroad, students with disability. Like there's no this bracket that you don't want to support. You're quite open to all that. But where are we getting stuck when it comes to 80?
Biggest question is money. Where funds? You show me the funds. We have the capacity. Alinco has undergone a complete modernization 2.5 years ago. Its manufacturing capacity is 3 times of what it used to be. It has the ability to function on 3-hour shifts. So it is about funds. And because of that, the CSR activities that Alinco is undertaking has increased manifold. And this is a sector that government alone can't do. You say that it is that stakeholder interaction is not enough to reach every PWD. That's correct, but I can't do it alone. It has to be also I would say, and Dr. Singh is here and he's already said my words, disability or empowering people with disabilities is not the job of Ministry of Social Justice alone. It is the job of every ministry in every department. I would want to see a Viksit Bharat where there is a national accessibility fund. In every project or tender that comes out, there should be an X percentage part of that entire project which has certain percentage to look after accessibility features of that physical project, whether it's a website of a department that needs upgrading, whether it's a new app that has been put out as a digital public infrastructure. That should be the mandate of every department and ministry, but not just of Government of India. It should be the mandate equally of every level of government. That is what the RPWD Act says. It says every government or the government at every level. So, having said that, we can't still shy away from the responsibility of Government of India, DEPD, to be the torchbearer for this. And that is why these initiatives that we have undertaken through LMCO, the PMDK, the Pradhan Mantri Divyasha Kendra, a one-stop solution. A PWD who has a monthly income of 22,500 rupees on self-certification. I do not want your income certificate from your patwari. You come and certify. Of course, an Arman Ali will not come there. He can afford something else. That is why it is the other people who will come there, self-certify and tell me, I need this device. Suppose Praveen ji says, आपको हम non-motorized दे सकते हैं क्योंकि your eligibility is 50,000. And if he today says that नहीं मुझे वो motorized चाहिए 80,000 का है, बाकी 30,000 मैं दूंगा. Yes, we are willing to give that also. So that choice that he has of taking an assistive aid above and over what government can afford for him, that flexibility is also begun to be given. That's one step. The other step is that even a CPSC today, because of the vision of our Honorable Minister and the vision of our Secretary, has an AI fund and an AI team who is working on how artificial intelligence can be used to better the efforts of LMCO in its R&D, to better the efforts in terms of product modernization, and to interact with startups like we have on our panel, bring them here, give them an opportunity to showcase their talent. We have, through our Purple Talks and through our various MOUs, we have MOUs with over 100 organizations, whether private or research organization, in tech, teaching institutions, private sector, software organization, name you. These MOUs have led us to reach out to different pockets of the country. It could be through softwares that help us to take assisted teaching materials down to the government schools of the interiors of any part of the country. There are efforts that are going. We have an MOU with ATF Foundation, another panel where I will go and speak. We are opening Sensate centers in our national institutes where startups can come, use that as a ground to test their devices on the people who visit the national institutes suffering from disabilities. So I invite you as well with your startups. If you want a ground to test your products, it could be still in the prototype stage, it could still be in a state before you accelerate and take it to the market. We will provide you support. You can use our organization to reach out to the larger ecosystem there. It can also be used as a ground to understand the demands, the inherent demands which have not been looked into, and then take it
that's
forward.
super, ma'am. Let's bring. Still, my second question is not answered. Like
Which is?
the financing part, the affordability. Like you put all this together, and there's a
Yes.
product ready,
Yes.
and if the product is about ₹1,00,000,
Yes.
and I want to buy, I can't give that money, but I can pay an EMI of ₹5,000 for.
So why not an EMI?
Why not an EMI option or easy pay?
So,
Like there's subsidy and there's an EMI. There's two things.
Okay, maybe down the line, DEPWD also takes on that role of getting hold of banking institutions and insurance companies to come in and put that partnership there. But we are also talking about a portal. It's again in a pilot stage, so I won't mention anything. A portal that is going to bridge the demand that is there in the system, inherent demand, and a list of people who are probably high network individuals, organizations wanting to do CSR. It is like a matchmaking, it's like a shadi.com kind of a portal where I have these demands and I need this, and don't want Elimco's wheelchair. I want New Motion's wheelchair, or I want that smart sports wheelchair, Autowalk. And there is a list of these organizations who say, okay, since the government is in between the person who wants this and I have the money to give, I will go and finance that person. We are in that pilot stage. We are running a kind of a pilot study somewhere in the interior of the country today. And I think that will help to resolve this issue of मुझे EMI पे लेना है, तो उसी पोर्टल पे हम बैंकिंग इंस्टीट्यूशंस को और इंश्योरेंस रेगुलेटर को ला सकते हैं.
I think that's a great step, ma'am, and then it will end this culture of free में चाहिए, then you don't.
And that feeling that मैंने शायद सही आदमी को नहीं दिया, or maybe that feeling that when a person wants to give that contribution, he also feels कि am I giving it to the right beneficiary? Is there a loss in the system? Is there a ghost beneficiary? All that will go away.
Also, like Praveen ji is doing so much, so many millions of assistive devices distributed, and it comes only as a criticism. There's never a good feedback you hear.
We are very used to in the government to get only the brickbats, not the bouquets.
Ma'am,
we are thick-skinned like that.
That's why we all are together on this panel, ma'am. And also I must acknowledge the fact that that this is in one humble attempt from NCPDP with support from the Commissioner of Goa's office. And look at the solidarity, like we get Sumit here from Emphasis, and I have my partners from Bajaj who's sitting here, and they're committed. They're committed, and they don't need to sit here to listen to all this. And there is a sense of the responsibility. It's not a CSR where you're trying to feel good at the end of the day. We are being asked so many questions all the time. Where is this money going, Arman? So I said, "Tum aao Goa." And so to answer all this, because then there is an Elimco, and there is an ICMR, and there is the DPWD, and there's all the time questioning all these people is NCPDP.
Yes.
But we are all on the same direction in the same page. And this is one such attempt, ma'am, to understand that we all acknowledge the elephant in the room.
Yes.
And until and unless we do that, we are not moving forward. And then again a disclaimer, my colleagues, they keep telling me that you are a moderator, come boli thoda sa. So I keep on...
और question paper मत देना क्योंकि पूछा ही नहीं कुछ जो उसमें लिखा है.
इसलिए तो the question इसलिए नहीं पूछा मैम क्योंकि प्रवीण sir came and asked paper दे दो, तो I thought कि I must change the question paper. So I think this has been one of very fruitful discussions and very honest discussion here, and I think this is just very small step forward towards creating an AT space, that ecosystem that we are all researching that will change the lives of millions of disabled people. We have amongst us the Member of Parliament, Mr. Bashir, who just joined, who has also happened to be the member of the Central Advisory Committee. So the next panel, sir will be speaking. Thank you so much, sir, for taking time out. And
Rahman, 1 minute.
Yes, sir.
Praveen ji he has said very important issue, that awareness part. Our RATA survey, the most important finding is the low awareness or no awareness. Until unless awareness is there, the demand will not come. Until unless demand is there, the industry will not.
So I think that brings us to the question and answer part of the panel. I think this is like as Ravindraji said, that he can go on and on till evening. This topic is such, and I believe all of us feel like that. I'll open the floor for 3 questions. If you have any questions, people may please raise their hand. So I see 1, and 2, and 3, 4. Okay, fine. 5. Okay, all right. We start with Abhishek here, and then go back to Mr. Madhav, and then the gentleman there. Yes.
Yeah, this is Abhishek. Affordability has been discussed. I want to ask about the quality. So we lose a lot of assistive devices because of climate change and disasters. So there is losses and damages of assistive technologies and devices during the disaster. So what about that? Because of the quality of the resilience of the assistive devices and technology. And also, what about the insurance part? I think Arman sir's wheelchair is one of the few assistive devices that is insured. What about the insurance part of that? Thank you.
Praveen, would you like to take this one?
As far as quality is concerned, see, we follow BIS, CE certification. As far as Alimco is concerned, we follow all quality norms, and there are 3-tier quality checks. So it's like price for, the value for money wala hisab kitab hai. If something is being made for 100 rupees wheelchair, and there is a 500 rupees wheelchair also, 1000. So it's, you can play with the material, you can play with the other fabrics, you can play with whatever. So that will increase the cost. But as far as that quality norms are there, that is in place in Alimco. BIS, CE, ISO 13485, or whatever we need, we should have, we have. That's not the issue. Rest regarding insurance, I don't think I am competent to speak on this insurance part, because we have never thought, even things are going on.
That insurance part has already been, started, and maybe in one circular was there from IRDAI for supporting the person with disability, and now we want to expand it to the other areas also, and very shortly we will be having a lot of discussion with different insurance companies also. And actually, if you look at the service provision or provision of product, so we want to have a range of service, like the social justice model, then insurance model, the banking model, the health model, that you go to any health center and you get the assistive product. So we want a multiple, like a cafeteria choice system, where different places would be providing different, and also the open market, where you go and buy based on the recommendation of the professionals. That will be there.
One more thing, just regarding the service part. Suppose we give some product to someone. There has been a lot of discussion in earlier years ki who is there to take care after that. So we started a very structured way of doing services to our people through our Asra center. It's a private, what we can say, they are run by private people. There's no involvement from our side on that operational part. They do the services. Their numbers are displayed on our website. It is propagated. People can go there. They can get it repaired or whatever problem. Then it comes to us. If it is within warranty, it is replaced. See, if somebody lost it, then we don't have any. But for repair and services, even PMDKs, slowly we have started converting PMDKs also as a service center. So then we will have a good network of 150 to 200 centers catering to the service part. Then we have got a dedicated call center there. It's a BPO based in Gurgaon. They are taking care of they are doing a lot of digging into what kind of problem, what problems coming from a specific area regarding the product usage, or what is the gap. So slowly we are getting into a very good stage of maturity where we are able to understand what is the pain area of the beneficiary. So these are all initiatives just taken in last 2 to 3 years. I think in years to come, things are going to improve dramatically. Thank you.
Thanks, Praveen and Dr. Singh. Can the mic be transferred here to? Oh, you already have it there.
Hello, sir. This is Victor Veeresh from Bangalore, Karnataka. Actually, I want to ask a question and a request also. I hope Alimco people also there here. Sir, this smartphone and all you will provide to students. I think nobody is getting except students in our Karnataka. That smartphones are very low quality. Now also they are getting 3G phones actually. It is already 5G, but students are getting 3G. And one more, after students, non-students are getting only sticks, only white cane and all. white cane and all. So it should not like that, sir. Every people are getting so many things. Our other disabled friends, okay, we are very happy for that. We want some this thing, sir. Like Daisy player also. Initially, you people were giving, but now also in our Karnataka, people are not getting our blind students. And also stick is not much of cost, sir. They can cane can get anywhere, and very minimal price also. But it should extend, sir. Other devices also need to get. So it's our request on behalf of our Karnataka blind
Akansha, don't.
people.
Akansha,
Excuse me.
please don't. This is the 4th, 5th time. Idhar se jao.
Bro, I'm not doing it on purpose.
Can't you understand when there's a way that's set to go?
सभी को नमस्ते। मैं अजीत हूँ झारखंड से, और मेरे दो क्वेश्चन मेरे कलीग्स ने जो स्मार्टफोन की इंफिग्रेशन है, कॉन्फ़िगरेशन है, वो बहुत लो क्वालिटी की मिलती है जो ATP स्कीम से, और बिल्कुल
अजीत, मैं आपसे एक बात बोलना चाहूँगा पहले, ठीक है? एक तो मैं बोलना चाहूँगा कि आप लोगों ने कभी इस विषय को लेके कोई पत्र लिखा है क्या किसी
जी
को?
बिल्कुल, मेरे
किसको लिखा आपने, स्टेट पे या
स्टेट मैंने DEPWD
तो बहुत बढ़िया किया है आपने, और तो उसको उसी लेवल पे फॉलो अप करिए। जब हम अगर इतनी छोटी छोटी बातों पे हम अगर यहाँ पे एक पैनल में पूछने लगे तो ये बहुत ही, आई डोंट थिंक इट इज राइट।
नहीं, मैं नहीं पूछ रहा हूँ, छोटी बात नहीं है,
जो भी है आप देखिए।
नहीं वो ठीक है, छोटी बात नहीं है, आपके नजर में हो सकती है। मैं एंड यूजर के यहाँ पे बोल रहा हूँ।
नहीं, एंड यूजर की बात समझ रहा हूँ
सर, मैं दूसरा टॉपिक बोल रहा हूँ। एक सेकंड,
दूसरा पे आइए, सजेशन दीजिए।
नहीं,
डोंट गेट इनटू स्मॉल माइक्रो इश्यूज प्लीज।
नहीं, दिस इज नॉट माइक्रो इश्यू सर, दिस इज 1%।
Manju, please sit down. Yeah.
1 minute, sir. 1 minute.